All right, Mad at the World. Welcome back. Did you have a good week? Cheers if you did. And if you didn't, here's to next week being better. It's me, Dean Tarantino. My week was pretty good. Actually, my week's been awesome. Did good at work. Got a lot of sales, just in case you're wondering. I do sales over the phone. Your boy's a killer. And went to a few concerts. That was fun. Yeah, man. Concerts are fun. I went to Red Hot Chili Peppers because it was a gift. For some reason, my mom thinks I love Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, they're all right? They're good. But, she thinks that I'm like a diehard fan, which I still took them because whatever, the Red Hot Chili Peppers tickets, and they played at the Hard Rock Stadium. They put on a good show, man. Those guys are like 50-something, still jumping around like they're a goddamn early 20s punk band in their garage. The lead singer's body looks like, no homo, man. It looks like he's 25. His face looks like he's on his deathbed, but other than that, he looks great. His hair has a bunch of spray paint, black spray paint. It looks so dyed, but it's fine. It was cool. I never seen so much strawberry vape smoke in my life in one place, though. That Hard Rock Stadium was full of recovering addicts, just blowing vape smoke just all night, man. It was crazy. It makes sense, right? Then I went to a Kid Cudi concert last night, and that was dope. He played at the FTX Arena, formerly the American Airlines Arena. Way better because it had AC. Packed house. He did good. He didn't come out in a dress. But there were boys there in dresses. I've never seen so many colored hair young people in my life in one place. This was next level young kids. I mean, to the point where they had a bunch of little like white kids with huge black security guards. I guess because, the parents hire them to be their chaperone and all that. 12-year-old, 13-year-old. It was crazy, man. But there we did light up. We lit up. We got those kids so secondhand high. Like, whatever, dude. But everyone had a great time. It was a lot of love, a lot of vibes in the air. And Cudi killed it, man. Miami really showed out for him. And it was dope. So, yeah, that one was for me. That one was fun. And what's weird, though, is that both concerts, both of them pretended like they ended early, and then they got off stage. They turned off the lights for like 3 minutes, and then they came back on stage and did like a couple more songs. Like, psych! They'll go out, they'll be like, good night, everybody, and then leave, lights go off. People are just like, wow, yeah, wow, yeah. And then all of a sudden, you come back on, and then they come back out, and then they do one more song. But here's the thing, that you think that they do their most popular song, but they didn't. Like Red Hot Chili Peppers came back on and did the one that they talk about cocaine or whatever. Yeah, yo, listen what I say, yo. I want that, yeah, yo, snows. They did that one, but they didn't do Under the Bridge. That's the one that we were all waiting for, right? That's the one that we all wait for. Isn't that's like the Kumbaya song for recovery people, isn't it? That's the one that they go to the recovery conventions and huddle around a fire and hold hands, and under the bridge is where I drew some blood. Sometimes I feel, right? They didn't do that one. So it was like, okay, well, they still put on a good show, so nobody left upset about it. And of course, they probably played that song a billion times in their life, in their career, sure. But still, that's the one that you give whatever audience while you're on tour, because you have a lot of new generation people who haven't seen you do that song. It doesn't matter if you performed it at, your best performance was in Woodstock of 99. And nothing can ever outdo that. Because, yeah, nothing will ever outdo that. But still, you have new fans, new generations that want to see you do that song. Whatever. No one was mad. We all left happy. But then Kid Cudi last night, same thing. All right, good night, Miami. Peace. Ran off stage. Lights turned off. 5 minutes or so in darkness. And then he comes out and plays like 2 more songs. But not day and night. Huh? Bro, when you come out, it should be that should have been as soon as he came out the second time. It should have been that. We were all expecting it, but instead he played some other cool songs, which was fine. But yeah, you have a bunch of new fans there that just were waiting for that song. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I'm always waiting for that song too. It's a dope song, but whatever. Still was a great show. Still had fun. He still ripped it. Crowd was still lit, but still. Now, here's the thing. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. Here's my theory, like anyone cares, but Live Nation runs both of those concerts, and I think that they do this so that everyone leaving that concert, roughly around 30,000 people, right, all get in their cars and play Day and Night or Under the Bridge at the same time, giving them a boost in that record for their Spotify streams or whatever streams that they find it and they get paid from. And then this nice little payday on top of their already big payday that they're getting to do the show and all the merch that they sell. Because they do make a fortune. You better believe that. But whatever. I guess it's all about the mighty dollar. Still was a cool show. Still had fun. But yeah, man, that was my weekend, my week, and my work. I'm at a new office now with a bunch of recovery people, man. A bunch of recovery people. It seems like they formed their own fraternity, though, right? Like, if you know recovery people, they all are really like disciplined now, as opposed to whenever they were doing drugs, because they all have a suck dick for crack story. Not necessarily that they suck dick for crack, but some type of story like that where they robbed from their grandmother or something. Some crazy, just degenerate behavior caused by drugs and alcohol abuse, maybe. Right? They all have that story. But then if you meet them now in recovery, you would never know because they're the most disciplined, probably polite, manneristic people that you've ever met. And then when they come together, they're so loving. They're those type of bros that don't mind telling you, yo, man, I love you, man. Thank you for being you, bro. Thank you for being you, bro. I love you, dude. Like, they're those type of people. And I love it, man. It almost makes me want to try heroin. Just so I could have that journey to come off of it and become one of the recovery people and join the fraternity. Yeah, and sing Under the Bridge around the campfire holding hands with them. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like. But no, I will not try heroin. Again, just kidding. No, bro, you can't just try heroin once. I don't know much about heroin, but I know that you just can't try it once and done. It's not one of those type of drugs, no matter if you are not the addictive personality or whatever, which I'm not, thank God. But still, there's some drugs I'll definitely stay away from because it's just chemical that they get you hooked, period. It's chemical. It's not even mental anymore. And that's one of those drugs, man. Man, I have a lot of, even in comedy, there's a lot of recovery dudes. But I like those fraternity dudes, especially the ones in my office, because their new addiction became money. Their new addiction became getting money, which is not a bad addiction, let me tell you. I mean, it can get a little like dicey when it comes to how they get it or whatnot, but still, way better than sucking dick for heroin. Any day. I have allergies, don't mind me. The new office has a bunch of fucking pollen and all that. But yeah, man, even in comedy, there's a lot of recovering addicts, and their new addiction is comedy. It's laughs, which I get that. Also not a bad one. My boy Danny Fallon, matter of fact, he's from Broward. He's funny as shit, man. He just taped some special there. I didn't go to it, but I saw a clip of it. This shit was funny as shit, man. It really made me want to step up my writing game, man. I'm gonna start this week's comedy gem with a different twist. I'm gonna praise and give flowers and not be critical with my critique first. I'm gonna praise on how something should be written and delivered, because Danny really is one of those dudes who cares about his pen games. He needs to perform in front of more black people, sure, but for the most part, he really cares about getting better at comedy and the writing aspect of it. Here we go. From his Danny Fallon haha on Instagram.
I read an article recently that said they're using ketamine now to treat depression. Yeah. They're saying that if you inject a patient with ketamine, it'll immediately reverse suicidal ideation. Which, I knew that shit back in 2012. And no one was applauding me for breaking scientific ground. They were just like, Dan, you're scaring grandma. Also, don't feel like it was really that complex of an idea to figure out. All they're really saying is, hey, maybe if you get high as shit, you won't want to kill yourself. Everybody knows that. Also, if you ever done ketamine, it's kind of like you already did kill yourself, you know? You can't speak, you can't move, you don't know your name. It's like a 30-minute free trial on suicide. Yeah, the logic here is like, yeah, you know what helps you not murder? A little murder as a treat.
Funny. You know, I mentioned that this was a live taping, but I really hope this isn't the taping, like this cell phone footage. I hope he's waiting on some editors to finish editing the actual footage with the audio, or else I'm gonna fucking sorely regret calling this a live taping. Anyways, wow, I said I wasn't gonna be critical. Wow. Well, I didn't say about the video quality and production. I didn't say that. I only said about the comedy aspect of it. So I'm still giving him his flowers. That's just the director side of me. Sorry. But yeah, that's a funny guy right there. Check him out on Instagram. Yeah, man, I don't know how long he's been doing it. I think he's been doing it a little longer than me. I'm almost at 5 years, but every year I ask myself and question myself about comedy and how far I come and how far the next year is going to bring me. You know, the first year is always, all right, will I ever get rid of the stage fright and the jitters right before I grow up? And yeah, you do. By the second year, then the second year is like, all right, am I ever going to have a good, solid, real 5 minutes of straight back-to-back hitting jokes or premises or crowd work bits or crowd work skills? And then, yeah, whatever you focus on or whatever you tune into based off of how good it is in the first year or so, you hone that, and then you get better. Third year, I don't know. You start thinking, man, am I ever gonna get paid for this shit? You know? Every year is like a question. My question at year 5 is prolific. How much more prolific am I gonna get with the pen? You know, because something like what we just heard now, he turned his pain into a clever joke. He used the aspect of experience. He used the aspect of comparison. He used the aspect of sarcasm, put it all together and put it out and got laughs, you know? I want to be prolific, man. I already don't do dick jokes or fucking and sucking and pussy. I don't do none of that stuff already. It annoys me. I always say this. But I do want to get more prolific as in turning my pain into hard-hitting comedy. Because there's premises that we could all relate to and touch on and say that'll get the crowd's attention, and then those tags that you add on to them might get a chuckle or laugh here or there, but like to get that hard-hitting, like gut, belly laughing type of result is where I want to be at. So year 5 is just like me thinking, all right, how can I get more prolific with the pen and the style of writing? What motivation do I need? The consistency is always going to be there. In that aspect, I am like a recovering addict. I need to be on the mic. I need to be on a stage. I need to be in front of people, making them laugh. So that's not going nowhere. The consistency's never going nowhere. But those times where I question things, I'm not gonna lie. The motivation is a little exhausted every time I question in that time period of questioning where I'm at and what's next. The motivation is just like, oh, you know, I don't know the answers, man. Just keep me on this conveyor belt of time and experience, and we'll figure it out. Read a book, maybe. I don't know. Read a fucking comedy book written by some motherfucker who's never done comedy in their life. There's a lot of those. Why is there a lot of... I go on Amazon and I type in stand-up comedy book, and it's like people who kind of never did comedy before. You never heard of them. Like Joe Schmo Johnson or some shit. I don't trust that. You know why I don't trust that? Because there's a lot of motherfuckers who claim to be comedians who you see them on stage or see them doing some shit in comedy world and they're not hitting. Maybe it's not that they're not funny, maybe, but it's just like they're not hitting. They can't hit anywhere they go. They can't hit every target audience or any audience. Any target audience is kind of a oxymoron. They can't hit all demographics is what I'm trying to say. And then they write this fucking book. Like, I expect some of the open micers I see today who've been doing comedy as long as me, who still don't get a laugh, to write a book in 5 or 10 years about comedy and how to do stand-up. I expect one of them to do that. And you know what's going to be the funniest thing to happen to them? Is that they might win a Pulitzer Prize for it. Oh, cringe o'clock. But if that happens, then you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy for them too. You know, because that was their lane. That was their lane. It wasn't the stage. It was a book. Okay, I can't be mad at that. What? I expect people not to have a lane or be successful in something when it comes to comedy. No, absolutely not. But I think the main thing, I think that even that thought process comes from searching for better within myself, the questioning, you know, paying attention, which is not really paying attention. It's just having opinions about other people's paths and stuff. And I have to control it. I have to control that. Listen, you have to control it too. We're all human beings and we have egos, and believe it or not, and like it or not, jealousy is an integral part of the human experience. It's how much you let it control you and how you channel it out that defines how much it affects you. I always go through it, man. I always go through the motions because I hate letting it just reside in me and grow unannounced and unnoticed, you know? I can't do that. I can never congratulate someone I don't like for an opportunity that they got before me. I can't do that. Especially with a smile on my face, no way. If I congratulate them, it's going to be with a fucking like, good shit, man. Or good shit, sis. Hey, you did that. Good shit. You're going to know that I wanted that fucking opportunity. You're going to know. But guess what? I'm not trying to stop you from it. I'm not trying to do that to throw neg vibes. I'm actually doing that as a real human being. Like, hey, you did that, you know? Now I'm going to deal with my own competitive attitude or ego or whatever it is that made me like this, and do the right thing and go through the motions of it and congratulate you for whatever it is that I'm slightly hating on at the moment, because I'll get over it. And everything happens for a reason. Everything's meant to be the way it's meant to happen. So I'm not, and I've gotten plenty of opportunities where people do the same thing to me that they don't even congratulate me for. So I can't get mad at all. I just have to be human. Human being. I'm not a human being. I'm just a human being. Keep your head up, even when things are looking down. All the stupid shit people be saying. Yeah, man. People be saying stupid shit, man. Look at this. Oh, man. Y'all seen this Aries Spears shit? This Aries Spears shit that he made fun of Lizzo again. Didn't somebody else get in trouble for making fun of Lizzo like last year about her being fat or something? I'm pretty sure somebody did. I mean, she's a big girl, but she owns it, right? That's why people love her. She owns it. Now, here's my thing. My thing is I don't not like Lizzo. My thing is the role that they put Lizzo in could have been anybody. To make it, to give confidence to big girls like that, and so they could be sassy and comfortable in their own skin. Yes, that is the surface area theme and whatever, what the fuck, purpose of it, of her being in that spot. But here's the underlining theme, that they're making that kind of like super acceptable to the point that people are not watching what they eat, especially the black community. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's plenty of white, what do you call them, big girls, artists and stuff, and they're not highlighted for that. Like, look how fat and big and beautiful she is. They don't do that with them. They do that with blacks because, you know, they eat the worst shit. They want to keep them in the Walmarts getting diabetes and shit. That's my thing under everything. It's not about Lizzo at all. It could have easily been anybody. You know what I'm saying? It could have been anybody. But that is literally what I think the underground, because it's not only her. All right, if you say no, that's not why they just want to make big women come to. Okay, well, how about Meg Thee Stallion? What does she do? All she does is pop her pussy, twerk. Make twerking fucking cool to black minorities. I hate that word minorities. But to black and Hispanics. Makes it cool as shit. I was watching She-Hulk the other day. I saw a clip online on Instagram that she's teaching She-Hulk how to fucking twerk. And blow that fucking stank ass wind when she claps her cheek. Now, here's the thing. I don't not like Meg Thee Stallion either. It could have easily been anybody. These women have nothing to do with it, with the underlying agenda of it. That's the word I'm looking for. Agenda. It could have easily been someone else. I like Meg Thee Stallion as a person. Well, not exactly so much. You know, the lying shit about getting shot was kind of like, ugh. But anyone would have done it. Anyone in her place would have done the same thing for the fortune and the fame and the clout. It's the underlining agenda that I have a problem with. And that's, yeah, man, because I don't know if you guys know this shit, but fucking diabetes is rampant to the point that they should be giving out insulin over the counter at this point. They should have fucking a box of syringes and insulin right next to your Kit Kats and Reese's Pieces by now, especially in 10 years, because numbers are going to double. What's it like? 100 million people in this country have diabetes, or maybe some other huge number, man. But they said that shit's going to almost double in about 5 to 10 years. That's crazy. And that's not a coincidence. So the thing about Aries Spears, and it's not even about Aries. I mean, he made fun of Lizzo as Lizzo, whatever. But I get what he's saying as far as the agenda behind it. That's what we need to start attacking. We got to start attacking the agenda behind the good intention purpose of these things, because you're not going to have one without the other. With every good image, there's going to be some bad created behind it, under it, from it. Yes. But if we keep the tug of war towards the good intention behind it, you know, then you know, Lizzo, whatever. Let her be Lizzo. I don't know. I'm sure she wants to get skinnier, right? I don't know. I wish she'd want to learn how to play the flute properly. Yeah. Remember that VMAs, whenever she did the BT, when she was That's the first time I ever seen her like mentioned or whatever. Big, no talent, is no non-flute playing ass big girl just wilding out on BT. It was funny. I'm sure she wants to get skinny. I mean, look at the other Precious. Remember Precious? They try to kind of put her in that same box too, but she ended up getting skinny, right? I think. I don't know. Last time I saw her was in that American Horror Story, which was my favorite season when she was a witch and she was like a voodoo witch. That shit was dope. She did great. She did excellent. People didn't expect much of her, but she did excellent. And I think she's skinny now. I don't know. Those type of girls can't even get too skinny anymore because their face is already adjusted to their size that if they get too skinny, they just look unproportionate. Inproportionate. I don't know. You see the problems I have? My brain is skinny. With words and shit. But whatever, man. Aries, but I respect Aries as a comedian, man. You have to. And they try to go after Tiffany Haddish. Come on. This is another thing of why the agenda is real, because look what happened. Once Aries did that and he got a bunch of slack and clout for it, he was on World Star and shit. Like a day or two later, some old dumbass skit with him and Tiffany Haddish surfaced about them, about like a uncle molester or some shit, like an uncle who was molesting Tiffany Haddish actor kids or some shit. It was just like some skit for something. I don't know what the fuck they were doing, but it was old as shit. They brought it up and they dragged Tiffany Haddish into this. That's how much the sugar and the diabetes and insulin and dialysis industries are trying to get anyone who tries to stop this diabetic train that's happening now. They want people to be comfortable being fat. They want people to get fat. They want all that shit. Don't think they don't. That's huge money. But yeah, attacking my girl Tiffany Haddish, who's the queen. Let me tell you something. I met Tiffany Haddish one time. I'll tell this story till the day I'm dead, okay? She was the nicest celebrity I've ever met in my life. And I met a few. Believe you me. Her purpose, and she'll tell you straight up, her purpose is to bring light to anyone she comes across, anyone she crosses paths with, anyone that she meets. She just wants to be a happy individual and bring light to them. She is a beautiful soul. She FaceTimed with my mom, told my mom that I'm a little too young, but had she been a few years younger, I've been older, I could get it. She told that to my mom. FaceTime. We hung out with her. She looked gorgeous. We partied a little bit, or not partied, but ate. We didn't party. It was incredible. To bring her into this just because Aries Spears, she's like collateral damage. Listen to me. Tiffany Haddish is a queen. She is not collateral damage. All right? She's since immediately apologized for making a skit. It was before she was like really famous, so it's one of those things. But she'll do it. It doesn't matter. It's fucking, yeah, whatever. Yeah, sorry. Obviously, I'm not into molesting kids. Sorry. It was a dumb fucking skit that I did pre-fame. What have you done pre-fame? We've all done some dumbass shit. Especially if you're trying to be in this industry. You kind of have to. You got to throw anything on the wall, see what the fuck sticks. And if it's with somebody who was on TV, like Aries was on Mad TV 10 years ago, yeah, I'm going to fucking do it too. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe she did it all. But let's say for argument's sake, the only way that this would be a accurate thing, which it's not, because it came out after he did the Lizzo statement. But the kids who are now grown up now in the skit are the ones like filing a complaint or suing or some shit. I don't know. Seems like greed. Small chance it's legit. People always want to say, but Hollywood, man, you never know. Hollywood is fucking creepy. Hollywood is Holly weird. Yeah, I get it, but when it comes to Tiffany Haddish, all bets are off for me. It's even unbiased because I met her and I just for vibes. I mean, I know about her too. Like she grew up in a foster home. Like she does so much good in her home country of in Africa, wherever she's from. Wow, I know so much about her, but she's from some African country. Who knows? Let that woman, let that queen be, man. She ain't no collateral damage. Aries, listen, he may be a tough cookie from what I hear in the industry, but he's a hell of a stand-up. All he does is stay in his lane. He has a very real comic, old school comic mentality where he just doesn't really fuck with anyone, but he just does his thing. This is his life, his livelihood. He's funny as shit. For him to, I mean, he talks about shit all the time. There's no reason why he would be like some pedophile shit. Just read the fucking signs, man. It's just scary. I wonder who told those kids who grew up to do that though. They know the answer. They know the fucking real answer of the fucking mafia agenda. Who reached out to them like, hey, listen, we'll give you such and such money to put a suit on Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish. And they're like, yeah, sure. Of course they'll do it. Of course they'll do it. But whatever. It's just the agenda just makes it so. Who is it though? Are they in cahoots with the LGBT alphabet mafia? Or they, who is it? And let me tell you something. Hollywood has some balls trying to throw some pedophile accusations at some stand-up comic. Hollywood has some balls, Hollywood. With all the fucking 80s and 90s movies starring nothing but kids, half of whom ended up on drugs and getting their buttholes played with by the director. Y'all got some nerve. And let me tell you. I just want to create, man. I just want to fucking make people laugh, make some cool movies, make some people fucking happy, inspire some other people in similar situations and mentalities and lives that I was brought up in. That's all I want to do. The other shit with having to deal with Hollywood and executives and people trying to like push their agenda with your work and your image and your brand is so like, man, let's just burn it all down and start from scratch, dude. Please, somebody burn it all down and wear a fucking one of those mustaches like Charlie Chaplin and start this whole shit over again. Please. The right way. Not just the white way. Hey. It's 2022, man. Stop hiring your fucking nephews to be directors at the studio that you were a director at. Your no talent sons and daughters. Stop hiring them. They're not as good as you. I'm sorry. Let them do something else. Let them casting director or something. Why if you're a director in Hollywood and you made it, you're going to try to put in your fucking son or your daughter to be a director too and make everyone's lives a fucking living hell because they don't know what they're doing, number one. And number two, because they have this complex that just because who they are or who their parents are, who they're related to, that they could swing dick and push their shitty agendas. And where has that gotten us? I'll tell you what's gotten us. Bunch of remakes of old classics, shitty remakes of old classics, and nothing but comic book movies that are good. Of course comic book movies are good. Of course. Fucking Hollywood. But please take me in. I'm ready. Just don't make me do no weird shit. I don't want to fucking be part of no orgies and shit unless they're just all women. All women orgies, sure. I guess I'll twist my arm, why don't you? But don't put me in no fucking hot tub with some director dude and two girls and he wants to see me bet like on some 300 and Spartan Day shit. I don't do that. I wouldn't do that. Don't try to make me wear a fucking dress unless it's for like $2 million and the dress better be fucking, it better be some comedic purpose behind it. not just like Kid Cudi on Saturday Night Live, which I guess was comedic. A show, now that I think about it. I'm not judging. What I'm saying is Hollywood has some nerve, if that was Hollywood, who put up those kids to shame Aries. Maybe it wasn't Hollywood. Maybe I'm just talking shit and I should delete this. Maybe it was someone in the music industry, which is probably even worse. Yeah, the music industry is so fucking pepper. I don't even want to talk about the music industry. That's how exhausting it is. Music industry. You know what I was thinking? There's so much rap beef. But you never see that like with rock bands. You never see Red Hot Chili Peppers beefing with Korn and then someone breaking a guitar over another band member's head. Whenever like rap stars have beef, there's always a shootout. One of their friends always gets killed. They highlight it, they glorify it. It's almost like a rite of passage at this point. We thought it got the worst it could be was with Tupac and Biggie. Hell no. Now it's a rite of passage to have beef and to win it. But with rock, you never see that. You never see Blink 182. Fuck corn. Fuck corn. If they have beef in rock, you know what they do? They go on tour together and name the tour Battle of the Bands or Blink versus Korn. That's what they do. Everyone wins, right? There's no losers. The only winners are our ears when we're in fucking that concert stage, right? When we're in that fucking concert venue. I hate that shit about the urban music industry, man. Just none of them motherfuckers could just enjoy being rich. Bro, just enjoy being rich. You're rich. Yeah, people are gonna hate on you. Yeah, especially people from your neighborhood. Just enjoy being rich. That's it. Oh, you don't understand. They might try to kill me. Yeah, well, don't drive down your own neighborhood in a fucking Rolls Royce and $2 million worth of jewelry on your neck. With your horn that when you beep it, it goes, ha, 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 ha. Don't do that. Stay in your rich neighborhood. If they try to go over there, trust me, one of your neighbors are going to fucking notice. And one of those Karens are going to call the cop immediately before even a fucking gun can even be drawn in your direction. I hate that about the fucking rap industry, man. It's so sad. But whatever. What are you going to do? The agenda, stay. I hate the word woke. Even the word woke, they like watered it down. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. Nowadays sucks. I am mid-30s, right? So I was part of that old, a kid in that old Generation X in the 90s. It was cool then. Before cell phones, before like internet became a huge thing. All we had was AOL chat rooms, which was fun too. But, you know, we tricked the fucking child molesters to thinking that we were going to meet up with them and shit. You know, that shit was fun. We catfish child molesters on AOL. Welcome. You've got mail. And I've been a part of, and I was still young enough in my teens to be a part of the internet and cell phone and iPhone revolution or renaissance, if you will, right? And I got to tell you, man, nowadays sucks. I could tell why all these kids nowadays have anxiety, depression, when everything's should be great and it should make you smarter. It actually makes you dumber because of the shit. It's uncontrolled. It's unfiltered. They all have anxiety. They all have complexes because of this shit. And they get their complexes instilled in them to the point where they're getting agendas instilled in them too. It's fucking nuts, man. I only say that to say, look, I know it's every man for themselves at this point because it is. Let me tell you, when the corporations and companies are like doing whatever they can for money and to stay afloat, so they don't care who they hurt or whatever the fuck, that's when you know it's really bad. When every company is for themselves, every man has to be them for himself. But if you're listening to me, I want you to make it through this. I want you to survive it. I want you to thrive from it. I want you to excel from it. And the only way you could do that is to know that this world is shit. You don't got to be shit, but you got to fucking sway with the wind sometimes, how it may come, so it doesn't drive you fucking crazy. You can't grind your teeth about this shit because it might really only get worse for a long time to come before it gets better. So make your money, go on vacations, do shit, right? Go out, do things, and then work at what makes you happy. If work doesn't make you happy, do that thing that they have now, quiet quitting, which I've been doing quiet quitting for ages. I haven't had, before this job as sales that I've been in for like almost 2 years now, I didn't have a real job for like 4 years. And even before then, I had a job for 4 years, and I quiet quitted 3.5 of those. For those of you who don't know what quiet quitting is, that's doing enough work at a job you hate, that you're underpaid, or you feel unappreciated in, the least amount of work, but enough to not get fired. That's what quiet quitting is, and you just in your head like, whatever. Most people are already quiet quitted for a long time, but they just put that fucking weird ass name on it. But that's what you got to do, man. If you're in one of those jobs, I suggest you get another job doing what you love, or at least close to it, or at least a job where you feel at peace enough to work on the side at the job with what you really want to work at that'll make you happy. Buying a peace of mind is way more important than feeling like a tool in someone else's company, making them rich, and they're not appreciating you as an asset. Life's way too short for that shit, boy. I don't gotta tell y'all. We all almost died 2 years ago in 2020. That's another thing. My generation's been through a bunch of fucking almost near deaths. 9/11, 2020, pandemic, Y2K. Our shit does not get a rest, boy. I've already been through like in 100 years, I'm gonna be in the fucking history books as like one of the motherfuckers who survived all this shit. When they have brain chips installed in 100 years and flying cars or some shit. When all they have is flying Teslas and everyone's wardrobe is straight out of a Yeezy collection. I'm gonna be in the fucking history books. Whatever. Not yet, though. Anyway, shout out to August. August was tight. I loved August. I got shows coming up. I'm at the Miami Improv on the 14th of September, which is about a week and a half from now. Miami Improv with Ridiculous Nick. He chose an old-ass headshot. Don't mind that headshot. He just pulled it from my Facebook account from like a 2017 picture, the prick. But whatever. It's going to be a fun show. I can't wait. I'm going to do a couple mics tonight. As always, you can find me online at Latino_Tarantino2X. You can find me at Dom's on Tuesday. And yeah, man, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you for listening and watching, whoever you are. Thank you so much. I see some views there. Comment. Don't be shy. Looking forward to it. Comment whatever you want. Any questions, any fucking comment, any opinion you have on the agenda, right? The fucking mafia who runs the agenda. And yeah, share it. Share this with your friends or whoever the fuck. Come out to one of my shows and then share it. I want you to know what I could do on stage before you listen to this podcast that I have in the purpose of selling tickets later on in the future. I'm just building consistency now, okay? Not to get too much into it. I mean, it's fun and even therapeutic, but I kind of want I want people to show up to my shows. That's my main point. So hopefully this could be in the history books too. When I'm selling out arenas or whatever the fuck, right? Wishful thinking. Cheers, y'all. Have a good week. Man at the world. Peace.